If you have the traditional miter box setup like this with the portable stand, you're probably sick and tired of this happening. I mean, am I right? We've all been there. So why don't you stick around and I'm going to show you how I turn this old trusty into this newest, latest, greatest model with all the options. We got flip stops, we got a tape measure, we got crown stops, we got dog holes with clamping, and we got portability. Now that we have our height set, so when our board sits on top of here, it's flush, I know that I just stuck my hand back there and I see that I have room, so I'm going to drill through here and I'm going to cut these to size so that I can put the bolts through here, and then also I'm going to use this thing. I can't think of what it's called right now, but I'm going to put that, and that is what is going to sit protruding out from this side so that the wing slides on it. I can just reach underneath it, tighten it up, and it'll pull it right nice and tight to the fence. Best part about using the CA glue is now I can just smack this piece off. There we go. With this being aluminum, I can just cut it on the miter box with the regular wood blade. I like to wrap a little painter's tape around it one time on each end where I'm going to cut it, so that when you cut it, the shavings stick to the painter's tape and they don't go flying everywhere. Now I'll just cut it right inside of here, and I got my marks. I'll be good to go. With the size of the wing somewhat dialed in, I need to miter the saw all the way over and find my angle so that I can trim the front of the saw. These angles for the corner can be a little tricky, if not impossible, to try to figure out. So I'll bring in, we're just going to use a relevant line and we're going to nail them. We're going to use relevant lines to cut these two angles as well, but I always like to cut the hard angle first and leave myself a little bit of room on the back end in case I screwed this front one up. I can get that really dialed in, and I know this one's easier. I'm probably going to be able to cut this one easier than I am this one. I'm going to install the T-track for the back, and again, just like before, I put a little painter's tape on the end of it so that it keeps my shavings all in one spot. Now the time's come for us to adhere the wing to the saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it on there. I'm going to scribe a line from underneath where that block ends. I'll find where a good spot is that I can notch that block for the T-bolts. Then I'll put that all together inside of here and tighten it up. With the wing secured onto the stand now, I'm just going to put a straight edge right along the back fence of this. Now I'm going to run it down because I want my tape measure to sit just behind that edge so that it doesn't get dinged up. To adhere the tape measure to the wing, I'm just gonna use some of this 3M magnetic sticky strip. So I'll put this down first, and then I'll lay the tape measure over top of it, and I can adjust it to the right size. Because I know this block is exactly 16 inches from the blade, I can use this as a starting point, and I know where I can trim it off here on the inside. I would like some clamping ability on these wings as well, so I'm going to drill in some dog holes. And I bought these new Festool clamps I'm pretty excited about. I'm deciding on how far to space everything. I saw that Festool uses a 20 millimeter hole that are 96 millimeters apart. I'm sorry, I speak English. 3/4 inch hole, 3 3/4 inches apart. So I'll probably just end up putting them about 4 inches apart. I'm gonna hit these holes with a slight round over on the top and the bottom, just so it's easier to get that clamp inside. I'm gonna dado in a little groove right here on this 4-inch line for another piece of T-track, so I can put in crown stops and hold my crown molding vertically. I'm gonna run a slight chamfer all around all the edges just to soften them. I'm gonna putty any nail or screw holes that I have and hit it with a quick light sand. Hey friends, I appreciate you sticking around watching me build the miter saw wings. I think they're a great addition to any shop. I really like the flip stops and the clamps to hold it down, and I also like it that you can take the one side off and make it pretty compact. That'll work in most shops. I hope you learned something along the way, or at least were entertained. In the meantime, get out there, buy cool tools, build cool stuff, and tell your friends about it. See you. Dang it, right? I'll be in the next flight paint class, first class, sitting next to Vanna White. Hey!